Hey, Roger here. Don't you want to make people's lives just a little brighter, just add a little spark to their day? Well, there are simple ways that I do this. You may have your own ways. You can figure it out however you want. But these are just little fun things that are not hilariously funny, but they're just mildly humorous ways to kind of add a little spark to somebody's day. So here's what some of the things I do. So for instance, anytime I go through a toll booth, I'm thinking, this person's not real happy probably working the toll booth. I'm not real happy having to pay to drive on this road. And so I thought, well, let's see if we can have a little fun. So when I pay, and as I pay, whether it's $2, $6, $12, 15, whatever it is for that toll booth, I always say this. I hand the money and I say, I heard you get a free snack box with this. Now you've got to say this as seriously as you can say it. And I get a variety of responses. Someone will say, what? I say, I heard you get a free snack box with this. Now, some people just chuckle it off, but that gets them to stop just a minute because they're kind of an automatic pilot. They're just kind of doing their thing, and you just kind of, it's like you throw a little wrench into their thinking. They got to kind of stop and think about it for a second. Then they realize you're kidding. Now, the other day, though, I did this, and it didn't go that well. I was going through a toll booth, and I paid, and the lady was back behind there. Took my money, and I said, I heard you get a free snack box with this. She said, what? Now, right then I knew this was not going to go well. But I stuck with it. I doubled down and I said, I heard you get a free snack box with this. And she just went, wouldn't even give me a response. And I went on. Some people say, Roger, well, that was kind of a flop. Well, I disagree. I think later on in the day, she thought about that and probably still got a chuckle out of it. Well, I used to go through Speedway gas stations all the time, and they had their Speedy Rewards card. And I collected a whole bunch of points, bought a lot of gas there, and I had like 20,000 points or something. Never got anything much for that, maybe coffee or a hot dog, and I don't drink coffee, don't like hot dogs, maybe a few cents off on a gallon of gas here or there. So I just kind of lost my Speed Rewards card on purpose, I guess. And so, but then I had a problem. Every time I would go through the counter, buy some snacks at Speedway, the lady at the cashier would ask me, well, do you have a Speed Rewards card? And I would say, well, no, I don't. And she would say, well, do you want a Speed Rewards card? And I have to say no. And then I felt obligated to give an explanation that, it just didn't really work for me. And I didn't like the whole conversation. I didn't want to be rude, but I just didn't want a Speedy Rewards card, So I had to come up with a way to kind of get out of that conversation. So here's what I would do. When I go through there, they would say, do you have a Speedy Rewards card? I would say, nope. And I was saving up for a jet ski too. Now there's, for a moment, they're not sure whether I'm serious or not. You have to say it very seriously when you say this. Now, just for a second, then usually they would realize I was just kidding. But not always. And these are the ones I live for. Occasionally, the clerk would say, well, honey, you can't get a jet ski with your Speedy Rewards card. That was funny. So another thing I'd always used to do, still do this all the time. If you pay at a restaurant or like a fast food place with a $50 bill, they'd have to use that little pen and swipe your $50 bill, make sure it's authentic. And I would always say when they do that, yep, I think it should be good. We just printed it this morning. If they looked at me after I said that, then I would say, we were just doing 5s and 10s, but we weren't getting anywhere doing that. And then, of course, they realized I'm only kidding. They get a little chuckle maybe out of it. But it just gives a little bit of a spark to the day. Just kind of, throws people off their game a little bit. And so I had great fun with that. Every time I go to the doctor, they always put me on the scale. The nurse weighs me, looks at the numbers, and then she always asks me what my height is. She never measures me. They used to do that. They don't do that anymore, at least not with me. They would just ask me, what's my height? I guess I figure my height is kind of the same anymore. I haven't gone through any growth spurts lately, and so they look up. So I'd always just say 6'4". And now I'm back 5'10" if I round up, okay? And I'm amazed that they just start writing that down. Well, I don't want my medical record to be inaccurate, so I say, no, I'm just kidding. It's 5'10". And they look up at me and they go, oh, yeah, well, I was just thinking maybe. Anyway, I just have fun with that. Now, the last one I do, and this is my favorite by far, but when they have a form, like I do this at the dentist office, they say, what do you prefer to be called? And my name is Roger. And there's no real good nicknames for Roger. It's either Roger or just Roger. I mean, it's just all there is, So I used to put in there, I still do this, what do you prefer to be called? Now, that's what they say it. What do you prefer to be called? Well, I prefer to be called Your Majesty. Nobody's ever called me that. But if they're asking me what I prefer, that's what I prefer, Your Majesty. And it is hilarious watching the response to that. So anyway, these are just little ways we can just kind of make life fun. So I thought I would share that. Feel free to use any of these or come up with your own. So anyway, thanks for watching.